Hi guys, I'm back and I've got a new mold to try. This one is a dragon eye notebook mold. So I'm going to start out by just using my mica powders. These are by Rolio, and a makeup brush thing, I guess. I don't know. They're these little applicators that I got off of Amazon. They are for makeup, but they work great for this. And I'll link them in the description below so you guys can see it. So I sped up this video so that it didn't take forever. In all, I think it took me about an hour or so to layer in all of this mica powder. So I started out just by painting it on there and layering it in. I'm using like gold and red tones on this just to make it pop. I don't know. I'm not sure what it's going to turn out to be because I haven't done this before. But I just wanted to leave this in here so that you could see my process and how I did this. So by painting the mica powders onto the mold itself, I can control where they are going and how they're getting laid in there so that the final product will be more of what I'm looking for. Once you pour the resin into this, it will stick to the resin and come out so that your resin is colored. I've seen people wondering how this is done, so that's why I wanted to show my whole process here. I've just got about 5 or 6 different colors. This is basically just like a painting project. I'm just painting it all in there so that it'll stick. So around the eye, I'm using this emerald blue color. I just thought that the eye needed to be a different color than the rest of it. So I'm just going to layer that in there. Don't worry about the mica powder kind of going other places. It's going to, but that's when you use your brush to blend it all in. So this, like I said, this is a long process to put this in here. And you can see, some of the mica powder isn't going exactly where I want it, but that's okay. The end product, it'll still look all right. So once you are done, what I do is I take paper towel, lay that down, and I tap out any of the excess. You can see there was quite a bit of excess there. Now I'm going to start on the back side. This one won't take me as long because there's not as much detail in that. So I'm just, again, starting out with my different mica powders and just kind of layering those in there into the grooves that are already in the mold. I'm trying to follow the pattern. I did have to move the mold around a bit just to make sure I get it in all of the right places and, all of the nooks and crannies. I also made sure to put mica powder on my brush and run it around the edges all the way around so that I had that color all the way around on the edges also. So I'm just going to keep layering this in. I know this is a long process and I normally would cut a lot of this out of the video, but I really wanted you to see my process on how I did this because I have seen a lot of questions about how mica powder works, how you can put it into the mold where you want it instead of just coloring it into the resin itself. That way you get more precise coloring in the spots that you want it. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Makes sense in my head. I'm just going to finish this off. Go make sure I have everything how I want it to look. And then I'm going to do the same thing once I have it all colored into the areas that I want it colored into. I'm going to put my paper towel down again and tap that out. Make sure that I get any of the big clumps of excess out of there, I guess. All right, now it is time to pour. I'm going to use my eye candy black pigment paste with my resin again. Now, I'm not going to lie, this mold took way more resin than I thought it was going to. Originally, I only mixed up 4 ounces thinking, oh, that's going to be plenty. It was not. So I ended up having to mix up another 8 ounces. So in all, this mold took about 12 ounces of resin. A lot more than I thought it was going to. But anyway, so once you pour it in there, make sure that you have it all the way to the edges. If you don't, you're not going to have a nice flat surface when it's done. So what I did was I poured it in like that. Then I took my popsicle stick and I kind of gently pushed it to all of the corners, making sure that it got in every little area. I didn't push the popsicle stick down too far because you don't want to actually scrape the mold. If you scrape the mold, you're going to move that mica powder and create like kind of scrape marks in it. So you just gently use your popsicle stick across the top of the resin itself to push it into all of the corners and make sure those little holes, you have it all the way up to the edges. Otherwise, those holes they won't hold the binder clips at the end. You'll see when we put it all together. But that's why you have to make sure that it's all the way up to all of the edges. Like I said, this did take about 12 ounces of resin, which I did not expect. Now you're going to see on the surface that a little bit of the excess mica powder kind of floats up to the top. I think it looks great that way. Once it's all done, I think it looks really neat. All right, let's take this out. Don't mind me. I got so excited about taking this out of the mold that I didn't realize that you could see me, and I looked like crud because it was first thing in the morning. Anyway, here we go. This is the back of it. I absolutely adore how that came out. It's very textured. The colors came out using that black. Really neat. Love it. Now let's see what that front looks like. I'm so excited to see this. I couldn't wait to see what these looked like. So I hadn't even had any coffee or anything. So I looked horrible, but that's why I was trying to make sure I wasn't in it. Anyway, everybody knows that feeling when you just want to see what it looks like, especially if it's the first time doing a new mold. And ta-da! There's the front. Oh my gosh, I am so in love with this thing. I absolutely love how those colors came out. That mica powder is not going to come off of it. It is set in the resin now. So that's how you do the resin with mica powder when you're trying to be precise like that. I absolutely love how this came out. I'm so excited. Now all we have to do is put the two pieces together with paper in between, and I'm going to show you how I did that next. Okay, so here we are. I've got the ring binders here, and they come with two different types. They have the ones that have the 3 pieces on it and then the single ones. I wanted to use the 3 because I think it looks really cool. You can see they are a little fiddly. It was a little bit difficult, kind of a learning curve just to get those all in there at the same time. But I did it. It wasn't like horrible. It just took me a minute to figure it out. Then this one came with this paper, which you can order more paper. This is A5 size. So you can order more paper, more binder clips. This is just what it came with. So I'm using what this kit came with originally. It took about 40 pieces of paper, which I wasn't real thrilled with. I think I'm going to try to order some larger binder clips so that I can put more paper in it because 40 pieces didn't really feel like enough to me, especially if I'm going to resell this. I don't want to short people on paper. I want to make sure they have enough. So anyway, I got the back put on. Now we're going to fit the front piece into those holes. And it does fit very nicely. It's just lining everything up and getting it all in there correctly. And then you just snap all of those little rings closed, just like that. And voila, it is done. I am so in love with this thing. I can't wait to make more of these. Hopefully this helps some people to learn about mica powder and how to put some of this stuff together. I know when I first started, I had a lot of questions about it. And this mold was so fun to do. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to try more colors and see what else I can come up with. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you did, give me that like. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my video or my channel so that you can see more of my work. Have a great day.